Hi guys, Maikeru here. This is my loot from 10 hours of Capsarius. These are in your personal Slayer dungeon and they're very good AFK money. You can AFK these for a very long time and you're only picking up a couple of drops, which makes it very easy to manage it all. You only have to look back on your screen every so often and you can make 5 million GP an hour being that AFK. Let's get right into this video. When it comes to my setup, I take full Anima Core of Zamorak. This Anima Core armor is unaugmented, so I don't spend extra money on charges. You really don't need augmented armor here, so you can save some money by taking this. I use a Blood Amulet of Fury because the AoE heal from that keeps you on full HP and you don't even have to worry about soul splitting or anything like that. It's super useful. I take a passive Illuminated Godbook for its stats. I take a Quiver for a little bit of prayer boost if I ever use soul split. I take my Max Cape, I take my Seren Godbow, although the Seren Godbow isn't super needed here, and the best thing here is actually the Hex Hunter Bow. The Hex Hunter Bow hits really well on these because it deals extra damage against magical attackers. So because these use magic and the Hex Hunter Bow gives an increased damage, it's actually better than the Seren Godbow, I just don't have one. So if you have a Hex Hunter Bow, use that here. If not, just use your best range weapon. A Nox Bow or something would work perfectly as well. I take Cinderbanes as the little tiny bit of poison can sometimes finish off a Capsarius if you don't kill it in one shot and it's useful. I take my Pernix boots and a Luck of the Dwarves. The Luck of the Dwarves is also very important because obviously increasing your chances at any type of loot is always worth it. I take some overloads and some aggression pots just like normal so I can stay there a while before having to bank. You don't need any food or anything like that here, so I don't take any potions, I don't take any food because it's not needed. The only potion extra I do take is a Super Restore. This then allows me to replenish my summoning points to renew my Titan. The Titan is useful here because it can deal a bit of extra damage if you don't kill them in one shot. I take my Slayer Codex because I have 50 souls in here. I can teleport straight to my dungeon and it saves a lot of time when banking. I take some magic note paper for when I get a full inventory of keys. I can just note them and then carry on farming and I don't have to worry about going to the bank if I get a full inventory. A Spring Cleaner is super useful here. You break down all of the battle staffs and all of the rune items and you get quite a lot of money from that. Then I also take an Enhanced Excalibur for the times when my Blood Amulet of Fury isn't keeping me quite full on HP. I can just pop that. That's it for the setup, nice and easy. Moving on to the method. But just before we move on, I just want to say that the Sunken Pyramid does require 99 Slayer. So 99 Slayer is the only requirement of this method. If you're wondering how to get here in Menethos, right at the southwest there is a port on the ports district that takes you directly to the Sunken Pyramid. You need 99 Slayer to access here and you travel with Port Master Kags. You want to travel to the Sunken Pyramid and once you're here you can enter via the door. Nice and easy. In order to get the Capsarius souls, you can go to the dungeon that has all the Ascension creatures in it in Legacy. Go with like the gear you would take to actually kill them normally. Then you go to each group of mobs and you kill that one Capsarius there in one shot and move on to the next one. And you keep repeating this in a circle. By the time you get back to the first one you started on, it will be respawned once you've killed all of them in here. It took me quite a while to get all the souls, probably took about an hour or so, and that's at 120 Slayer. If you're not 120 Slayer, you can get a Slayer task of them to increase your chance of getting the soul. So we got a soul at 2:45:48. So then just under a minute later, I get one. And then 4 seconds later, I get another one. That's lovely. That's a back-to-back soul right there. So even when you go super dry, you can get souls quickly. Even if you've waited like an hour for one, you may get two in the space of literally seconds. Once you've got the souls, you can enter your dungeon in building mode, use the souls on the circles and make them spawn in each of those circles in the room and you can have a maximum of 5. You can either use the small room or the big room for this, it really doesn't matter as they're ranged mobs. Like I said, because they're ranged mobs, the big room is fine for them as well because you're always going to have one on you that you can auto-retaliate and kill. Typically, your Blood Amulet of Fury and your Enhanced Excalibur are enough to keep your HP full at all times. Very rarely, you might get a bit unlucky with the Blood Amulet of Fury procs. If this happens, just chuck up Soul Split and you'll be good to go. But usually, if I get a little bit lower on HP, I'll just activate the Enhanced Excalibur and I'm back to full HP. Typically, you're on near enough full HP just from the Blood Amulet of Fury though. As you can see, it's very useful. And as you can see, the big room really doesn't change anything because I'm constantly in combat, I'm constantly auto-retaliating against stuff and then picking up only the keys. The only thing that makes you money here really is the spring cleaner, the keys and the Serenic scales, so I don't bother picking up anything else, and that makes it really AFK. Taking a look at the small room, I went to my friend's dungeon for this one because he has them in the small room rather than the large, and it's pretty much the exact same. They're always on you, you're always auto-retaliating. It may be a little tiny bit easier to pick up loot, and you're not getting any less kills an hour by being in the big room than you are in the small room. Anyway, that's it for the method. It's that easy. You just put legacy mode on, you AFK, your Blood Amulet of Fury takes you back up to full HP, you loot all of the good stuff. Legacy mode is important here though, because if you're not in Legacy, you won't always one-shot them. In Legacy, it's nearly a one-shot all the time. That's why we use the Steel Titan, because if you don't one-shot them, the Steel Titan normally finishes off that last 20 or 30 damage and you can move straight on to the next one. I love super AFK Legacy methods because it's so easy. It's just like the Tormented Demons. When you do them in Legacy, you don't have to worry about pressing any buttons or doing anything like that. You only have to worry about looting. When it comes to the loot that I got out of all of these kills in the 10 hours, I got 50 million GP. Taking away a little bit of charge pack for my weapon and some springs, I'm probably making about 4.5 to 4.6 mil GP an hour. Anything over 4 mil an hour and super AFK is pretty good money if you ask me. If I went and picked up the other stuff and I wasn't AFK, you could probably make like 6 to 7 mil GP an hour, but I'm just lazy and I like the AFK methods. So for these, they're like 4.5 to 5 mil an hour if you're AFK, and they're like 6 to 7 if you're picking up everything. Hopefully this video was enjoyable to watch and it helped you. Give it a like if you did enjoy, subscribe if you're new for loads of future content all related to RuneScape 3, and until next time, see ya.